Big Seance Podcast, episode 104, a bonus episode.
Welcome to the Big Seance Podcast. I'm Patrick Keller of BigSeance.com, and this is a place for an open discussion on all things paranormal, but specifically topics like ghosts and hauntings, paranormal research, spirit communication, psychics and mediums, and life after death. So basically, anything that pops up in my paranormal world. The candles are already lit, so you might as well come on in and join the seance.
So why a bonus episode today? Well, until this morning, I hadn't planned on a bonus episode, but I've had a few crazy dreams lately. As you may know, I don't remember my dreams often, but recently I've had a stretch of them. Last night was a big one, and it seemed perfect that it fell on the morning of October 1st, so I wanted to share it with you. I had just moved into the old mansion a few days earlier. It was a smallish mansion in the city. It has 3 floors, and it's taller than it is wide. It's full of plaster and hidden nooks and crannies, but its age and flaws made it affordable. Moving into an old abandoned mansion has its risks, though. Could it be haunted? I had wondered. My last night in the mansion was just a few nights ago. While casually unpacking some boxes and arranging things in the massive room that I hoped to turn into a beautiful parlor, I found a strange-looking item in the corner that, funny enough, resembled an old toilet seat. But I'm still not entirely sure what it was. It may not have been a toilet seat, but I laughed to myself, sat the strange treasure back where I found it, and decided it was time to retire for the evening and head upstairs. As I was walking up the staircase, I again laughed and mumbled to myself, "What weirdo keeps an old toilet seat in the parlor?" Well, I wasn't halfway up the creaky staircase when the lights in the place flickered a few times. I paused to work up an excuse in my head, but then they went out again, this time staying out. It was very dark, and I was still halfway up the stairs, so I was afraid to move. I could feel my heart beating through my chest. Then I heard it. A loud engine that sounded like it was coming from below me and inside the house. It was such a startling loud noise that cut through the silence and the darkness. There was nowhere for the sound to go. It just bounced around, rattling my eardrums. Suddenly, I saw 2 beams of light reflecting on the wall directly ahead of me on the first floor as the sound got louder and closer. Then a loud crash and an explosion of plaster as an old black pickup truck that had to have been from the 1950s tore around the corner from the parlor, taking out part of a wall with it. It paused at the bottom of the staircase, as if staring me down with its headlights, and as if it was catching its breath. I had just enough time to realize that no one was in the driver's seat. Was there no one in the driver's seat? I took off up the staircase, taking advantage of the headlights to see where I was going. I stopped at the top, turned around, and waited as the truck idled softly. The exhaust was starting to get to me as it began to rise to the ceiling. I I again strained to see if I could see a figure in the driver's seat. Nope, no one there. But someone had to be inside the truck because there was now a truck barreling up the staircase, gnawing and tearing at the marble and old spindles. It was struggling, but it was definitely making its way up. Why was I still staring in shock? I took off, making my way through a few of the connected rooms, trying to figure out where you hide from a truck that's trapped in a house with you. I chose a closet in a room at the back of the house. I could tell by the sound of the engine that the driverless pickup truck had made it to the top of the stairs a few rooms away. Then the engine shut off. It was painfully silent. I felt like I couldn't even breathe, and I didn't even realize I had moved at all, but the floor creaked beneath my feet, and I froze in panic. The engine started right back up and floored it. I can't even explain how scary it is to hear that, knowing you're in a house. Then the floor shook as the old black pickup tore through the wall, plaster and brick flying into the room at my feet. I screamed because there was nothing better to do at the moment. Then, the driver's side door opened. I was staring at an empty seat. Through the dust of the plaster and the fog of the exhaust, I could see the glowing dial of the old radio. Nope, not staying here. I took off running around the car, tripping on rubble and running through the hole in the wall. I stumbled down the staircase, which was now in shambles, and I ran out the front door into the night. The sound of the truck's engine faded as I ran and hid in an alley a few blocks away from the mansion. I hid behind a trash can, fighting for breath. I realized I wasn't the only one making a home there, though. A scraggly dog was lying right next to me. He didn't seem concerned that a strange man had barged into his space in a panic. In fact, he was very welcoming. I actually think I was close to falling asleep when I heard it. There was no mistaking the sound at this point. From off in the distance, there it was, and it was getting louder. At that moment, I promised to never make fun of someone's toilet seat, or whatever it was. And then I woke up. Happy October, everybody. It's going to be a busy month, and I look forward to every second of it. You'll hear from me again very soon. Additional music in this episode provided by Kevin MacLeod at incompetech.com. For show notes, including links to anything we may have mentioned in this episode, visit bigseance.com. Just click on the Big Seance podcast logo or find it in the menu. You can also find and subscribe to the show in iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play Music, TuneIn Radio, and iHeartRadio.
Do you have any comments or feedback? Go to bigseance.com/feedback to learn how to get your voice in a future show. Or you can call my feedback line, 7755-TELL-ME. That's 775-583-5563. Interested in learning how to promote and share the podcast? Go to bigseance.com/share. Thank you so much for listening. Unfortunately, it's time to blow the candles out, but we'll see you and light them again next time.